What's going on, family? Hopefully everybody's having a great and exceptional day. Alrighty. Doing my meal prep for the week. Good old salads, put the tuna in there, and it's all good in the neighborhood. Alright. So this is, sometimes I go live on Sundays just for the heck of it, do it on Facebook, just for the heck of it. But this is one of those FOs. F around and find out. And that's where we're at in life right now. Now, why do I say that? It's because, the uncertainty in the U.S. economy is real. The uncertainty in a lot of people's lives is real, from a financial standpoint. And for years, I've said, and I've constantly said, hey, be about your money, make money moves, or you're going to live like a fool. Because if you don't, you will be broke like a fool. If you don't have smart practices when it comes to increasing your income, increasing your value, smart practices of saving as much money and investing in as much money as possible in a variety of investment vehicles, then you're going to be put in a precarious position to where you will be screwed financially. And, if you're a person that's an avid traveler like myself, having, utilizing points from a hotel perspective, utilizing points from a credit card perspective, utilizing air miles from a credit card perspective with the various different airlines, because another thing is a lot of these industries are hurting right now. And that's why a lot of these industries, and that's why I always like to travel during the off season, because that's when a lot of these industries, i.e. hotels, rental car companies, and even airlines that have more deals because they're trying to, make money. So can't make money if nobody can afford to go shopping. And that's why a company like Southwest had to lay off so many people. But I think more and more airline companies specifically, and I have no hate towards any airline because I fly these airlines. I'm a member of these airlines. But United Airlines, American Airlines, Alaska Airlines, I think more of those airlines are going to have to end up laying off people, because if you ever even just go to their website, because usually if I even fly those, even though I'm a member of Alaska and American, like I said, no hate, no shade, just keeping it real. The only time I will actually buy directly from their website or from the app of Alaska Airlines and American Airlines or United Airlines is if I can utilize miles and whatnot, because, I live in the DMV area. Why would I pay $600 to fly to Los Angeles from Washington, D.C.? Why would I pay $600 to fly from from Washington, D.C. to Houston, Texas, or San Antonio, Texas? It doesn't make sense. That's why most of the time I end up I might utilize the credit cards i.e. American Airlines, Alaska Airlines, while I'm on Southwest, and and when I do that, the stewardesses make fun of me, like, we don't accept American here. But why would I pay that amount of money if I could pay half of that money and still get the same flight, courtesy and whatnot? Now, obviously, it's a better experience flying, and this is no hate towards Southwest. It's a much better experience flying on Alaska Airlines, much better experience flying on American Airlines than it is Southwest Airlines. Now, lately, luckily, I've been fortunate to always get the exit row, because I'm a tall guy. I'm about 6'3", 6'4", so I've been very fortunate enough to be able to get the exit row seat, so I have enough leg room and whatnot. But yeah, these other airlines, the amount of money that they charge is just ridiculous, especially if it's like last minute and whatnot. Like a friend of mine had to go to Alabama. I believe he flew into Birmingham. He'd rather fly into Montgomery, even though he's going to the more rural part of the state of Alabama. But, he had to pay, I think, $500 to fly from D.C. to Alabama, because this was last minute, because his grandmother passed away, unfortunately. So, that's what happens, unfortunately, when you're going, when a family member passes and you have to buy tickets at the last minute. 9 times out of 10, you're going to pay way more, And that's just one of those things, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's enough tomatoes. So, yeah. Just don't want these to go to waste. So I think I'll use more of these, and I think these other ones can be utilized next week, because I'm darn sure food is too expensive to get thrown away nowadays. You know what I mean, family? So, or as they would say back in New York, back in the 90s, nah, I mean, that's my word. Anyways, so yeah. So, and it's like I said, we're living in an era now where it used to be, I'm in my 40s now, but there used to be a time in my 20s, back in the day, as they say, when making six figures meant something. Don't mean anything anymore. But now people that make six figures, especially if they have a family, financially are screwed. And they're going to McDonald's and Whataburger, and they're clipping more coupons than ever before because the price of everything has gone up tremendously. And it actually tripped me out. I didn't realize that Dollar General, which is a store I frequent at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, is losing money because they said specifically within the last month they're losing money because the customers they're having less customer traffic, and the customer traffic that they have now aren't able to afford a lot of even the products in that store. Now, obviously, a lot of people, I didn't realize that actually did their grocery shopping at Dollar Generals, but it kind of makes sense because it's easier to find a Dollar General or Family Dollar in a very rural town before you will ever find a Walmart in a very rural town. Or, like you have like maybe a small mom and pop grocery store, and then you have a Dollar General, as opposed to having, an actual grocery store like a Kroger if you're down south. What is it? Ralph's if you're out west. Safeway out west. You got Safeways on the East Coast and Food Lines on the East Coast and things of that nature. So it's just like, so it's like it's not as normal to have. It's not normal in a lot of rural towns. I'm not gonna say all, but a good portion of them to have. You'll see a Dollar Tree, a Dollar General, and a lot of people actually do their actual daily shopping at these specific stores, but they're having financial problems to where they think they're going to try to close up to between 60 and 90 stores nationwide. So that's what I said. That says a lot right there. Between 60 and 90 stores nationwide. So this is part of those F around to find out generation, because if you cut and this is due to people not being able to afford things, certain government programs being cut, like TANF and SNAP, so people don't have the food stamps. So therefore, because people keep forgetting a lot of times, food stamps is basically money going back into the country, whatever your political stance is, I don't care. It's money going, food stamps, housing for welfare, Section 8, whatever you want to call it. That's money that's getting pumped back into the United States economy, and that's money that's being pumped into major corporations and small and mom and pop businesses and whatnot. So, as a landlord like myself and whatnot, if one of my tenants is a Section 8 tenant, I'm making money off of the federal government, and guess what I'm doing? That money's getting put right back into the economy. Money's supposed to circulate and percolate, but if money gets cut off, then money's not circulating and percolating like it's supposed to, and therefore that affects the U.S. economy regardless who's in the White House, governor's house, and mayor's house. You feel me? So when certain things get cut, you mess around and you find out. You F around and you find out. That's just where we're at. And then once again, if people can't afford to go, if people are having a hard time affording to go get food and whatnot, then people are not going to be able to go to these crazy things called comedy shows or concerts or festivals. Any regular outdoor events, and then people are not going to be able to afford to go to restaurants that much. So therefore, it affects the U.S. economy because these businesses are getting, whether it's mom and pop or major corporations, they are getting affected financially because no customers, no money, and no money means no business. Crazy concept, but it just might work. But it just might work. No, it's happening. Okay, so when we're in a time frame where a lot of people like they're scaling back, and therefore, like I said, it'd be very interesting to see how the travel will be this summer for a lot of people. Like I said, I myself, my biggest thing is I wanted to go to the UK and whatnot, but we'll see what happens financially because there's just too much uncertainty. So we'll see what happens. One thing I can say I've noticed that's gone down lately is driving. So people aren't going to have to pay as much for gas, but they'll just supplement whatever they were going to spend on gas, they'll put that money on food. So that's why I'm just like, okay, cool. I can point out one thing that's gone down recently, gas, but I don't, outside of driving to work and driving around town, I don't really drive that much. So, and I utilize a gas credit cards to get points and get deals and things of that nature. But, it's just one of those, okay, that's affected, cool. But the amount of money that people just pay for food, everyday food, going to the grocery store. And if a guy goes on, no, I'm sorry, I saw some black flying. I was like, oh, that's a crow. Anyways, but yeah, if a guy tries to, because I've heard a lot of ladies tell me that, men don't really take them out on real dates anymore. So if a guy, but let's just think about it nowadays. Are you worth taking out on a date? And if you are, cool. But let's just put things into perspective. Let's put things into perspective. It's like, okay, if a guy takes a woman out to a decent restaurant, because I know if I do, you going out to a decent restaurant, there's going to be some flowers. It's going to be a nice spot. It's not going to be IHOP. Okay, nothing against IHOP. Had it for breakfast this morning. It ain't going to be IHOP and Denny's. It's going to be a real spot. Okay, that's going to be somewhat elegant, and then of course, if there's another date, then it's going to be even much better, more top tier, things of that nature. But even your average hole in the wall restaurant or whatnot, that's a mom and pop, for food and drink, especially if you're going to have alcohol, that's going to be no less than $80. And of course, at the most, it's going to be between $80. Let's just go with between $80 to $130. All right. I remember one time on a date, I paid $300, but it was a real nice spot. It was a real nice spot. But that because I don't go out to eat that often, so when I do it, I like to do it. But we're living in the times now. It's like, yeah, we need to cut back on that kind of stuff. So, just because. So to the ladies, if a man is taking you out to a nice spot, I appreciate that man, because a lot of men nowadays can't afford it, or just don't want to because they don't want that extra financial burden on their debit cards, on their credit cards. And I understand it because of the times that we're living in. So, it's one of those, the more you F around, and this is what I'll say, the more you F around, the more you're going to find out. If a man is willing to take you on a decent date, you better hold on to that joker, because a lot of guys nowadays ain't even about that. So, and if you think that there's another one out there, he's going to be very hard to find, or probably 9 times out of 10 he's a dog, or 9 times out of 10 he's already been snatched up. He's going to be like, nah, I'm married, or I have a woman. You know what I mean? So, the more you F around, the more you're going to find out. So, and another thing to the guys and the ladies, guys stop chasing the bad girls, women stop chasing the bad men. They just gonna they might give you some good sex, but outside of that, they're gonna give you nothing but headaches. So is really good sex worth trading in good sex, worth giving up your peace? Only you guys and gals can answer that question. I cannot, and I will not try to. So I'll leave it at that, because the more you F around, the more you're going to find out. You feel me? And that's just the world we live in right now. The more you F around, the more you're going to find out. Another thing, if you're not trying to increase your income and increase your value, if you're not trying to get rid of your credit card debts, all right, if you're not trying to save money, if you're not trying to figure out how your money can work for you in your sleep, i.e. cryptocurrency, stocks, bonds, real estate or business, annuities, different retirement vehicles, I hope you have some sort of a retirement account. If your job doesn't offer you one, it's called get an individual retirement account. And if you want to get one that's not with your bank, you can sign up with Stash or Acorns. The links will be in the description, specifically if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you watch us on Facebook, go to LarrysAnythingGoes LLC. Once again, go to LarrysAnythingGoes LLC. All right. But then another thing is, I always say, stop being around a bunch of losers that got nothing to do with your future, because the more you F around, the more you're gonna find out. Okay, and I'm saying this, Lord have mercy, I'm making a mess. I'm saying this out of experience. I'm saying this out of experience because I've been around a bunch of losers many times, trying to hold on, especially certain folks that I grew up with, some but not all. So and the ones that I'm talking about, they knew who they are, because I don't talk to them no more. If I still talk to you, that means I rock with you. If I don't talk to you, that means I don't rock with you. It's really that simple, because the more you F around, the more you're going to find out. You feel me? So, but anyways, yeah, it's just like, that's just the world we live in, And I always say, another thing I always say is like, if somebody's trying to be positive with you and vibe with you, hold on to people like that. Because it's, for me, it's always the negative ones, the selfish ones that are always trying to latch on to me like a freaking tick or a leech and whatnot. And in those situations, the more you F around, the more you're gonna find out how life is gonna suck. Even more so if you try to keep on to people, hold on to people that don't want to be around you. That's just, I always call that a waste of freaking time. You know what I'm saying? So, and life is too short, too precarious. We can't be wasting our time, because the more you F around, the more you're going to find out. Jolly good show. So anyways, so summertime is creeping around. like I said, San Antonio will be there next week. I'll be going to the Valley as well. End of this month, heading to Los Angeles, Phoenix bound, and the next month, you know what it is. So I don't know if I'm going to be traveling any the biggest trips outside of that I will be taking. We'll be going to the UK. What is it? In Atlanta for Invest Fest in August. So the UK, I think I might go like at the end of September. I'm leaning towards that time because I want to see if I do any like some local if I do any summer travel. Most likely it'll just be back to Houston. What is it? Houston, or maybe even go Vegas. Then where else? They go to Vegas, New Orleans. You know, go to some cities I've never been to. I've never been to New Orleans. I want to go, and I always want to go to Denver, Colorado. I want to go. I just don't want to go to Denver in the wintertime. So, yes, this summer definitely not going to be taking too many trips to places that I've been to 1,000 times. So, Houston, got nothing but love for you, but it's time for you and I to part ways in regards to me coming down so much. I've been there. I went there in February. I went there in December. So, I think I'm good for now. I'm going to take a break on Houston. You know, because it's just, you know, when I go there, I just visit my friends and whatnot, so it's all good. I'm not tripping off the other stuff. So, and then like the last trip to Houston, you know, it was one of those, a lot of people was tripping. So it's just like, okay, you know, if you go start tripping off the small things, then it's like, okay, the more you F around, the more you're going to find out that the El Vaquero Moreno, aka Larry, ain't coming around. She's like, I'm good because life is too short. You know. But it's all good. We still gonna get our travel on this year. We're just not gonna do it as frequent because what's the point of, you know, accruing that kind of debt, especially the places that you've already been to 1,000 times. Like my trip to San Antonio will be a very, next month will be a very short trip. My trip to California will be a little bit longer than San Antonio, but you know, to go from DC to San Antonio is such a short trip, so it's not a big deal. Gotta get the protein in for the salads and all that good stuff. It's the last piece I'm adding to the salads. So, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, San Antonio, the Valley. It's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to that. First time going to the Valley, so hopefully, you know, I'll come back alive and all that good stuff because I've heard various different stories about the Valley in Texas, Harlan, Texas specifically. So I'll be flying into San Antonio, but I'll drive to the good old Valley, so it should be an interesting time to see that part of Texas. I think the furthest west of Texas I've been was Austin. I've been to Dallas, been to Houston, you know, been to San Antonio, and Austin was the furthest. And I was only in Austin for like a couple hours, so it really didn't tickle my fancy like that. But we'll see how that goes. But anyways, so yeah, that's how, you know, this travel thing. Still not, I don't know if I'm too keen on doing the travel business. We'll see how that works out, you know. That should be interesting to say the least. But, you know, as I said, the more you F around, the more you're going to find out. So, we'll see what happens on that note. But either way, family, be keeping it positive, be keeping it pushing. Well, as you used to say back in the day, be keeping it gangster. Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty good since I got my headphones on, but if not, it's all good. Good in the neighborhood. Well, yeah, we need to keep this train going. Keep these wheels turning. Keep on doing what we got to do, and call it a day. But I always say to my friends in the digital space and in the real world, to keep a positive spirit and a positive light about themselves. God bless you guys, because you know we are in times now where everybody wants to be negative, wants to hinder on the negative. Everybody wants to put out the drama, keep the drama going and flowing. Everybody wants to just you know, bring darkness wherever they see light. And to you people out there, you inspire me, because that's always been a part of my daily regimen, is just try to keep some positivity in the air. Because for a lot of people, it's just they've never experienced positivity. A lot of people don't even know what peace is. So all they know is drama. You know, or as a female told me one time, I was too boring because I wasn't a big fan of arguing and drama and whatnot, and wanting to cuss people out and whatnot. And I'm just like, look, if you're around me and I get to that point, that means I'm not going to really want to be around you like that, because that might be normal to you, but that is what I consider to be very abnormal to me. You know, and I say that all the time. That's the kind of crap to make a brother be like, you know what? Tenga una buen vida. Have a nice life. You know? Because the more you F around, the more you gonna find out. You feel me? You know? Do you feel me? Alright, where is, okay, cool. Got my milk. Say, where's my milk at? But, so yeah, at the end of the day, man, that's just how I look at it. Salad's all done. Here's the finished product. We got some turkey salad right here. We got the tuna, as they say in Spanish, atún, ensalada atún, ensalada de pavo, all that good stuff. Tu sabes, mi gente. We eat good, we eat healthy. The only unhealthy stuff we do around here is some coffee and a little bit of alcohol. Every now and then, you know. Blame it on the alcohol. Yeah, I'm in a good mood just because it's been a good weekend. It's been quiet, it's been peaceful, you know, and that's how weekends really should be, on some rhythms, you know, quiet and peaceful, doing what we got to do, and then just going from there. You know what I'm saying? Because life is too short to not keep it any other way, you know. So, got a little storm coming, and that's the thing, is about 2025. It's like, you know, cutting a lot of folks off is where we're at. You know, we cut the drama off, cutting the demons off. But I've always been like that. But I think we should just continuously keep that train moving, because, you know, that's just the best way to be. For a lot of people, they don't know how to do that, you know. And then they'll cuss your name out on social media to get in, or as I like to call it, childish drama, childish nonsense. But that's on them, you know. You gotta put yourself out there to do the best job for yourself, and stop worrying about everybody else. You got to do what's best for your health and stop worrying about anybody else, because I always say, if the circle of people that you're surrounded by are the ones that are going to continuously keep nonsense going and drama coming your way, then there's no reason for you to keep them around. But that's just my personal opinion. We're going to get this in here. Alrighty. Put this in there. Back in my bag and whatnot. You know. And, you know, for what it's worth, whether you're for it or against it, it doesn't concern me. But the whole boycott thing that's happening right now, I think it's a beautiful thing, because I always say the civil rights era, there would be no real change that took place during any civil rights era or movement in America, but specifically within Black America. There would be no change that would have taken place if people did not boycott, because the whole thing was, don't shop where you could not get hired, don't shop where you could not be respected. That was the whole purpose of really the civil rights movement. Equal rights under the letter of the law, absolutely. But the real premise behind it was, hey, how do you cripple people in financial power? You got to take away the spending power. I mean, you got to take away your spending from them. You know, that's what I forgot to get broccoli. Guess I'll have to get some tomorrow. But yeah, I'll just get some tomorrow. But yeah, that's how you get, you know, they got people's attention or whatnot by, you know, they stopped riding the bus, Montgomery boycott. Bus boycott, shout out to Montgomery, the dump as they call it. You know, people stop shopping at grocery stores, retail stores. That's how you catch people's attention. You mess with people's money. That's the only way you, especially in America. You know, it's the American way, baby. That's why I love the United States of America. You make money moves, or you're going to live bro like a fool. And like I was talking about earlier, if a company ain't making no money off of you, that's how you catch any company's attention. Why won't you buy here? This is why, because we don't believe in what you're selling. Okay, well, how do we get you to buy again? Glad you asked. So that's what they call consumer spending power. You know, if people didn't deposit money into specific banks and whatnot, the bank's like, hey, how come you won't use our banks? Glad you asked. I can't seem to get a loan here, but I deposit my money here every 2 weeks or every day. What's the deal? That's called business and leverage. That's the American way, baby. That's why I love the United States of America. Okay? If you ain't got no leverage, you have no power, you got no room to negotiate. But if you got leverage, you got room to negotiate. And most working people think that they don't have any leverage. Who you spend your money with, who you bank with, holds way more power than who you vote for. Because those are the people that write the checks to the politicians. Because rich people in the United States of America don't cast votes. They write checks They write checks and they write more checks. Anyways, what do I know? I'm just a guy that thinks about things critically, analytically, and goes from there. You know, I'm a simpleton. You know, and like I said, once again, this isn't about politics. This is about economics, baby. Stop thinking Democrats and Republicans and start thinking checkings and savings, because that's what you do every day when you go to work and when you get online and when you go shopping. You're doing checkings and savings, whether you realize it or not. Even a person who's here as an illegal immigrant or quote-unquote undocumented worker understands those simple processes. It doesn't take a high school diploma or a college degree to understand the real, true, beautiful, economic American way. But what do I know? What do I know, baby? I'm just a guy thinking outside the box. Thinking outside the box. Ooh. Thinking outside the box. Is that Amazon? I believe so. Yeah, I love when Amazon comes up on your porch and whatnot. But anyways, enjoy your life, family. You know, hopefully whoever is listening, I hope you have a, you know, with spring being here, summertime, you know, coming around, you know, Will Smith, summertime. I hope everybody, you know, whatever your political stances, I don't care. Like I said, I don't do politics, I do economics, but I just hope that everybody enjoys himself in this life, and, you know, just try to, you know, by the end of this year, come out better financially than you were, you know, in 2024, because things are going to get harder for all regular working people. I'm not going to say a lot, for all regular working people, and, you know, continuously try to build community that's going to be there for you. You know, that's probably one of the most important things right now. Build community that's going to be there for you. I don't care if it's online or in person. You know, but that's the one thing I always say the pandemic has taught. It had to teach everybody. It's like, look, no matter how much technology we have in this life, you still need community in some aspect, in some sort of way. You know, not being around people and being surrounded by just being in love with your cell phone gets old pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? You know, you need that human connection out here. You know, need that human connection. See, I like when an Amazon person puts the thing right at the door. That's how it's supposed to be.
Camera recording.
That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So yeah, man. And sometimes I hate the joke that they put all the way on the side of the where I gotta come all the way out of the house. I'm like, man, what you doing? So it's all good, family. That's all I got. You know, just wanted to put my perspective out there. You know, keep things positive. Keep it positive and keep it moving. But once again, don't forget to check out my online store. Thank you for the Cash Apps. Thank you for the Venmos. Thank you for the PayPal donations. Guys don't have to do that. So when you do, I always just got to, you know, give praise and love to that, because, you know, we are living in a time where it's hard times out here. I need to spend more time on my YouTube channel trying to figure out how to monetize my YouTube channel. You know what? Let me just put something I know it's going to be way more stable than this. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to be able to monetize, because I finally got over 1,000 subscribers, so I'm going to figure out how I can monetize my YouTube channel, and if that's even possible, because I'm seeing people do it with the same sort of subscribers, so go from there. But either way, do the great D3 things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money move so you can live by like fools. It's in Spanish. Bienvenido a la vida. Welcome to the life.